We're joined from Ottawa by the Minister of Heritage and Official Languages, James Moore. And what do you think, Mr. Moore? Are you ready to go to the polls?
Well, you're always ready in a minority parliament. It's been 9 years since Canadians elected a majority parliament. So, last three parliaments in a row have been minority ones. So we're always ready for a campaign. You obviously don't want an election campaign. Obviously, I'd have to disagree with what Justin Trudeau just said there. He said that the Conservatives look for division and don't look for opportunities. Look, this is a Conservative government. In our first term in government, we were elected with 10 fewer seats in the House of Commons than Paul Martin had in his minority parliament. And we managed to have that parliament last for 2.5 years, the longest minority parliament in Canadian history. We got a heck of a lot done for Canadians. And in this minority parliament, all we're simply doing is implementing the budget that Justin Trudeau himself voted for. We're implementing, following through on the commitment that the House of Commons made to make an investment into the economy, to turn the economy around. And all we're doing is following through on fulfilling those promises in that budget. And now Justin Trudeau and Michael Ignatieff want to call a campaign. So we'll see how this parliament goes.
Well, and we'll see how the campaign goes if and when it comes to that. But let me ask you about the ad featuring Justin Trudeau, which I asked him about, and I think you were able to hear part of that. But does that set a negative tone out of the gate by putting these ads on already?
Well, look, election campaign, all parties are going to run political advertising. We certainly won't go to the depths of negativity that we saw with the Liberal Party when they said if you elected a Conservative government, you'd have soldiers dispatched into our streets to police citizens. So, look, we're running ads out there. We're putting forward all kinds of advertising to make sure that Canadians understand the clear choice that they have in election campaign. Obviously, we're using the quote of Justin Trudeau. It was an interesting defense that he put forward to suggest that he was speaking without having known Michael Ignatieff. So maybe there ought to be an asterisk and a disclaimer. Justin Trudeau may be commenting on a subject or person he knows nothing about whenever he's on television.
Let me ask you about Jack Layton, who on CTV's question period, left the door open to some kind of a deal so that we wouldn't have to go to the polls. What are you hearing about the kinds of meetings and phone calls that have been going on that might be a possibility?
Well, Diane Finley, the minister responsible for human resources and obviously the employment insurance file, I understand is going to be making an announcement later on this morning. The Prime Minister will have more to say later on today. The bottom line, ultimately, is that Canadians want this Parliament to work. They want us to function, and they want us to get on with serving the Canadian people. And that's our commitment, and that's what we want to do. All we're doing right now is we're implementing the budget that the Liberal Party themselves voted for. And now they don't want us to follow through because I think obviously they have a little bit of a political dynamic at play here where we see some turning around in the Canadian economy. We see some forward movement in the right direction, and they're obviously playing a little bit of a cynical political game here and trying to make themselves look as the tough guys in opposition to a Conservative government rather than doing what they should be doing as a national party, which is making Parliament work. And we as Conservatives don't want a campaign. We're going to make sure we do everything we can to make this Parliament survive, and we'll put forward reasonable proposals that should have the support of reasonable members of Parliament who want Canadians to weather the economic storm and come out of it stronger on the other side.
Well, certainly the eyes will be on Ottawa today. Thank you, Minister Moore, for your time.